We may have in this hymn, Comfort, Comfort Ye Thy People, a little bit of a different concept, and one that I could certainly spend all of my time hanging out in, especially that one very simple phrase, comfort, comfort. This Advent season can be very difficult for a lot of people. There are people who struggle with anxiety and stress that seems to come to a head at this time of year. For even people who are upbeat and positive and hopeful, this can still be a difficult time. There's a lot of pressure from society around us to have the perfect Christmas, whatever that might mean. And I think because of that, because of all the demands that we have on our time, all the societally imposed concepts, that we often feel like there's something wrong with us when we're not at that level that we assume we're supposed to be at. The idea that when we sit in darkness, however, that God is with us to comfort us is essential to how we get through not just this time of year, but all the times of all the years. God will be with us to comfort us. And that's important for us to know. This particular hymn was written by Johannes Olarius, who was the author of a commentary on the entire Bible and has also written various other devotional works. He also compiled one of the largest and most important of the German language hymn books in the 17th century. And the very first edition of this particular hymn book contained 302 of the hymns that were written by Olarius himself. They are marked simply as being written by D.J.O. Now, these hymns have been described as being useful for covering the gaps in seasons in which we don't have other hymns. But I think they go beyond useful. I think they speak to seasons and events and opportunities within our lives as Christians that other hymns simply don't address or speak to. So this beautiful poem is dedicated to a sense of belonging for all of us whenever we have felt lost and alone. So let's take a moment, take a deep breath. Comfort. Comfort thee, my people. Speak thee peace. Thus saith the Lord. Comfort those who sit in darkness, mourning neath their sorrow's load. Speak thee to Jerusalem of the peace that waits for them. Tell her that her sins I cover, and her warfare is now over. Hark, the voice of one that crieth in the desert, far and near, calling us to new repentance, since the kingdom now is here. Oh, that warning cry, obey. Now, prepare for God a way. Let the valleys rise to meet him, and the hills bow down to greet him. Make thee straight what long was crooked. Make the rougher places plain. Let your heart be true and humble as befits his holy reign. For the glory of the Lord now over earth is shed abroad, and all flesh shall see the token that the word is never broken. What kind of question should we ponder from that poem today? Well, the first one that comes to mind for me is, when have you had feelings during the Advent season where you have run contrary to what the common expectation of the season is. And the second one is, have you ever felt like you were sitting alone in darkness? And finally, how does God's comfort reach out to you, even when you are feeling so very alone? Thank you for joining me again today, taking this opportunity to spend some time contemplating the themes of Advent. And may you all remember that we have the great Comforter on our side at all times, even in the darkest of places. So I will see you tomorrow, but until then, take care and God bless.